Hello, good day. My name is Rubie Gee Milo from Group 4, and today we are tasked to present the topic entitled the Natural Law Theory. So the lesson outline starts with the eternal law, the natural law, human law, purpose of law, and the necessity of the human law. So at the end of this discussion, we are going to identify the features of the natural law theory to consistently making good choices for good instead of evil and to recognize who is the proponent behind this law. So we have three types of laws, which is the eternal law, the human law, and the natural law, which we are focusing the natural law. So natural law is universal. It is something that is inherently exist within each of us. It guides us on our daily actions and impact our reality and our life. So all human beings have certain needs, behaviors, and rights, morals, and responsibilities that are objective, inherent, and therefore binding to all. So they apply to everyone and everywhere in the same way, regardless of where they live. So everyone has the same rights under the natural law, including the right to happiness and the right to life. So Saint Thomas Aquinas, a Dominican friar, theologian, and philosopher who instigated the marriage of faith and reason. So one of the most significant philosophers who presented about the natural law is Saint Thomas Aquinas. So Aquinas believed that kanang faith and reason were complementary and necessary for a complete understanding of our world. So he also argued that reason could lead to knowledge, could lead us knowledge of the natural world. But faith was necessary to understand the supernatural world. Next, please. So we have here the Soma Theologia and Soma, so again, Soma Contragentia. So Saint Thomas Aquinas was canonized as a saint regarded by the Roman Catholic Church at the angelic doctor of the church. So we have to learn that Aquinas was coming from the medieval period, which is ang medieval period. He was called as the medieval philosopher na katong medieval period manggod. It was the time wherein the Catholic Church or the Roman Catholicism were actually bloom, and then to nga time is nagka-gain sila ng power. So therefore, we can see that the ethics of Saint Thomas Aquinas is grounded with Christian teachings. So dinhi nato makita ang ideologies of Saint Thomas Aquinas of kanang integrating Christianity into philosophy. So Saint Thomas Aquinas' notions of human nature primarily anchored on Aristotle's conception of human with some teachings coming from Plato. So to better understand this lesson, let's listen to my co-reporter's discussion. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Amethyst Marohomsar. So today we will proceed to eternal law. Next please. So eternal law, a law emanates from the governs of perfect community. The world is governed by divine providence. The whole community of the universe is governed by divine reason. So simply, Ang kining eternal law is kanang simply ang eternal law is being itself, so is able to promulgate such as a law God. So ito divine wisdom of God which oversees the common good and governs everything. So example ana is ang 10 commandments. Next please.
So good day everyone. I'm Mariscal and I'm reporting about the natural law. Next please. As mentioned before, we have kind of law. First, divine law or eternal law, followed by the natural law, and lastly, the human law. The highest law here is the divine law or eternal law. But since us humans can attain the divinity, the closest law is the natural law. Natural law theories state that all not natural to us is evil or bad according to Saint Thomas Aquinas and the Church, since he is a theologian and a doctor of a church. Example for this is the euthanasia, piercing, tattoos, since it's not natural to us. We are not born with it. Next, for Aristotle, next please. For Aristotle, the end of man is geared toward happiness. For him, the act of a person correlates to what he thinks that can brought joy in him. For example, a man learns to play instrument in order to be a musician. Learning the instrument is the means, and being a musician is the end. So being a musician is the man's passion, or this is his happiness. The theory of Saint Thomas Aquinas was being influenced by Aristotle. He agreed the theory of Aristotle about the end of man is happiness, but he attempted to expand in more theological point of view, or a theology or the study of the divinity. That's all. Thank you.
So now we look at the human law. So law from general and indemonstrable principles, the human reason needs to proceed to do the more particular determinations of certain matters. These particular determinations devised by human reasons are called human laws. So kining human laws is mao ni siya ang law nga kanang gihimo sa mga tao. So kini siya nga laws siyang mga law nga kanabitang maano ang mga tao ba kanang mahadlok sila nga kanang makahimo og kanang mga evil things. So later i-discuss siya sa isa ka atong members para mas ma-explain ug maayo niya unsa ang ay nganong unsa ang primary reason nganong naay ay ngano ang human law ga exist.
So, first of all, I'm Ron James Marquez, and I will be reporting the purpose of law. So, next slide. Aquinas defines a law, an ordinance of reason for the common good, made by him who has care of the community and promulgated. Law is an ordinance of reason because it must be reasonable or based on reasons and not merely in the will of the legislator. It is promulgated so that the law can be known. So next slide. So St. Thomas Aquinas viewed the purpose of law as promoting the common good, aligning with divine and natural law, encouraging virtuous behavior, restraining vice, and being enacted by a legitimate authority. So his ideas have had a lasting impact on moral and legal philosophy, influencing discussions on the nature and purpose of law in both religious and secular contexts. So according to St. Thomas Aquinas, the purpose of law is to promote common good. He categorized law originally into four, but now eternal law ang divine law is considered as one. So ang tulo kay ang eternal or divine law, the natural law, and human law. So as what they said sa mga past members, ang eternal law kay ang divine, the unchanging order governs the entire universe. It is God's wisdom and providence that direct all the things to their proper end. humans can only understand and participate in eternal law to the extent that they grasp the principles of natural law. Next, ang natural law, in which derives siya from eternal law, is inherent in human nature. It represents the moral order that humans can discern reason. Yes, ang natural law kay universal, unchanging, and applicable to all people at all times. Then, according to Aquinas, it is the foundation of human law, ang natural law. Lastly, kay ang human law. So, human law is basically created by human authorities to enact and enforce rules from the common good. It should be in harmony with natural law, reflecting principles derived from the eternal and natural laws. If a human law deviates from principles, it loses its moral legitimacy. So again, what is purpose of law? So the ultimate purpose of law, according to Aquinas, is to promote the common good. The common good refers to the well-being and flourishing of individuals within a community. Laws are just and morally binding to the extent that they contribute to the common good. So in summary, St. Thomas Aquinas saw law as means to order society in accordance with the eternal and natural group, ultimately leading to the common good and moral development of individuals. So next reporter.
So good day. I will be the reporter of the necessity of the law. So it comes also with the question, why is human law is necessary? So according to Saint Thomas Aquinas, na siyang idea daw, just because we know the natural law, it does not mean that everybody would follow it. No, na masking kabalo pa tako na bawal to, bawal na siya ng butang, it doesn't mean na follow ta ato na law or na mga tao na di ato mo follow nga law. No, na no, na according to his view that it is not necessarily put into action or not necessarily na motivating sa mga tao na mo follow ato na law. No, masking kabalo na na bawal, like example, masking kabalo na bawal mangawat, pero nya lagi mga tao na naagya po yung nagapangawat. So, then mo sulod ang human law na mag-impose o mga punishment or penalties to those who violate the natural law. Kabalo man taon sa human law na katong mga human law kay gawa atong mga like RA, Republic Act, mga mga example sa human law. So, ang natural law o ang human law kay parehas na sila, marag ang human law kay conclusion na siya sa natural law. Ang nakalahian lang nila ang natural law kay walay punishment or sanction na para sa mga nag-violate ato na nag-violate sa natural law. On the other hand, sa human law, there are punishment na gipang-impose to those one or impose para na mga sanctions or punishment to those who violate sa natural law. So, naay gihatag na reason na si Saint Aquinas na dili siya like di siya primary pero na one of the reason niya nung na human law ay naga-exist. So first reason is to keep evil people through the fear of punishment from harming others or from doing evil things. So ang meaning aning first reason kay ang human ang all what human law can do that is to impose some severe or harsh penalties that is certain or that is fast enough to act to those who violate the natural law. It is like a act of deterrence, kumbaga, for those mga act of deterrence. And this kind of penalties might dissuade them from or refrain them from doing evil things. Masking gustuhan pa na nilang pangawat o gusto pa nila na mga motive, ng motive na gusto nila maghimog dautan, dili na sila kabuhat tungod na yung mga law na nagabawal ato. So, in the second reason naman kay to help habituate evil people. And again, through the fear of punishment and to virtue. Ang second reason kay it means that to help habituate evil people to become better person and to inculcate them or to teach virtue in them. No? So, makuha natin isa sa 95 Article 1. A man has a natural aptitude for virtue. So, ang tao daw, kay merong naa siya kakayahan na matutunan ng virtue, but the perfection of virtue must be acquired by the means of some kind of training. What kind of training? So, there to mapadulong ta sa Aristotle of notion and Aristotle notion of acquiring virtue, like kanang mga generosity of what kind of mga things, no, to being habituated by them, parang kailangan na to pabalik-balik para matun-an na to or para makabalo na taon sa tamang buhaton to become virtuous. So like example ani ay parent and child relationship, kay ang parent ang mao to nagakontrol sa ilang child for lagi itong ang parent ang nagakontrol unsay tamang gamit, unsay tamang buhaton sa bata o o kato na similar gyapon na siya sa human law, but instead of parent and child ang law ang nagakon sa ato naga tudlo og unsay tamang buhaton to attain happiness or to become virtuous. Now, the perfection of virtue daw kay consists chiefly in withdrawing a man from undue pleasure, to which above all men is inclined, especially to the young, who are more capable of being trained, but some are found to be depraved, prone to vices, and not easily amendable to words. It was necessary for such to restrain from evil by the force and fear, in order to that at least they might desist from evil doing by being habituated in this way, might be brought to those willingness what her head they did from fear, and thus become virtuous. Therefore, a man might have a peace and virtue. It was necessary for the laws to be framed as a man, the most noble of animals, he be perfect in virtue, so is the lowest of all if he be served from the law and righteousness. So it is necessary to have human law to restrain or desist us from doing evil. So, yun lang po, and it is the end of our discussion po, sir, sa natural law, and thank you.